Welcome to another video on this Esoteric Circle YouTube channel. This is Peter Haskins with another video about P.D. Ouspensky. This one is from A New Model of the Universe, an essay which he published along with other essays in 1931. In his essay entitled Superman, Ouspensky specifically spells out the evolutionary challenges and goals of humanity in light of the demystifying of Western man. He points out that man is preeminently a transitional being who is always changing, full of contradictions and drastic inconsistencies. However, the idea of Superman is as old as the world itself. Ouspensky writes, quote, "Man as he is cannot arrange his own life by himself. Popular wisdom has admitted that there must be fellow human beings who are much higher and stronger, more complex, more miraculous than ordinary man." End quote. All the major religions have the concept about the need for a Superman or prophet or a Messiah who can look upon the face of their deity, because man as he is not strong enough to look upon the face of God by himself in this barbarous condition. All religions begin with the advent of a Superman, with all the major religions expressing the same sentiment from ordinary humanity that they are not strong enough to handle and process this revelation of God. As Fyodor Dostoevsky pointed out, the psychological masks which humanity can wear in a single day can be numerous, ranging from a saint to an absolute demon. Ouspensky writes, quote, "All the kingdoms of nature live in man. Man is a little universe. In him proceed continual death and continual birth, the incessant swallowing of one being by another, the devouring of the weaker by the stronger, evolution and degeneration, growing and dying out. Man has within him everything from a mineral to God. But man chooses the imaginary over the real. Our times exalt weakness, not admitting that real humanity lies in man's inner struggle against the forces which would choose imaginary over reality. Man," writes Ouspensky, "is only a temporary visitor, only a passenger on the earth." End quote. Ouspensky points out, often in this essay, that evolution is so vital, but this evolution is different. It is a psychological evolution, which he is talking of. He also says that this evolution is of the conscious variety. He says that evolution, quote, "in mankind can only be conscious, and in reality only realized by the very few. It is only degeneration which can proceed unconsciously in men." For Ouspensky, as well as Gurdjieff, all of this inner work toward a real and sustained psychological evolution must be intentional and conscious. The issue of waking sleep is a real and present danger for anyone who wants to rise above the levels of barbarism. The very idea of Superman itself is enough to contain a power so great that undertaken lightly could very well destroy an unprepared and uninitiated human being. When a Superman comes on the scene, having been sent out as a missionary to a barbarous people in need of civilizing, he or she brings with them new and dangerous ideas. These ideas are radical departures with what the barbarous people have been living under for some time, and this brings a great deal of suffering to the messenger, i.e. the crucifixion of Christ, for instance. Superman brings new ideas, new concepts, and a new knowledge not already in the possession of common humanity. One of Superman, or as Nietzsche would call him, the Overman, one of his chief tasks is to pass this new knowledge on to new initiates, introducing them to a new circle of ideas which need to be transmitted in a full manner. Judas of Iscariot is the cautionary tale from the Gospels about what happens to someone who receives this knowledge in a partial or incomplete way. As Ouspensky writes about Judas, quote, "Judas acted under the influence of injury and fear. He wished to break and destroy that which he could not comprehend, that which revolted and humiliated him by the very fact of its being above his understanding, the psychology of slandering what one does not understand." End quote. The growth of ideas comes from inner psychological development, and one of the fruits or proofs of this growth is what Ouspensky calls ecstasy, which is defined as the highest degree of emotional experience. All true art is the actual attempt to express this sense of ecstasy. This high degree of emotional experience itself transmits new ideas to the initiate, downloading, if you will, a treasure trove of being to the initiate, allowing him or her to truly evolve along the path of righteousness for his name's sake. The initiate will comprehend beyond the shallow meaning of mere words that time itself does not exist. The only thing that exists is the eternal now. Ouspensky writes, quote, "Time does not exist. There exists no perpetual and eternal appearance and disappearance of phenomena, no ceaselessly flowing fountain of ever-appearing and vanishing events. Everything exists always. There's only one eternal present, the eternal now, which the weak and limited human mind can neither grasp nor conceive." End quote. Time for Ouspensky was a condition of the human mind. It was not real. This idea of Superman or Overman is one of the possibilities which lie within the depths of the soul of humanity. Developed from this inner psychological work, what Ouspensky describes as, quote, "a very long and persistent training of the mind." He goes on to say, men who are conscious of Superman within them, who are conscious of the revealing of new forces within them, become by virtue of this very fact connected to the idea of Superman in the past or in the future, and men who seek for a real living Superman in the present thereby reveal a higher principle in their souls.